Hello, it's Helen from Authentic Awareness of You with this week's tarot card reading for the week of the 1st to the 7th of February. Okay, so this week I'm using the Universal Fantasy Tarot. So same as last week, I'm going to start off with the card in the middle, and this is where you are at now in the present moment. And we have the Hanged Man. Okay. The Hanged Man is a major arcana card. It's card number 12 there. Now, ideally, the Hanged Man is a card of just being in the present. It is the card of sort of surrendering over to any struggles or worries that you are having. And it is often the card of there's not a lot you can do in regards to situations that are surrounding you. Ideally, this is a card of pausing and just kind of stopping, getting another view or another perspective on your life and issues that may be concerning you. And when I look at this card, particularly in this deck, there is a sense of he's quite high up, and he's obviously looking at things from a much higher perspective. He's looking at them in a different way, and he could possibly have a fresh new idea or a new epiphany could actually come his way. And he's kind of suspended there. So you may find that you are just in a place of feeling suspended, or there's even nothing to kind of do in regards to many situations or issues that are surrounding you at this point in time. So when I do look at this card as well, he's kind of there is a bit of movement there. He does that bird is kind of looks like the bird is transporting him to another place. So that kind of indicates to me, particularly with this deck, that there is possibly a major shift going on for you. That just by kind of going with the motions and sort of going with it, you possibly may end up somewhere else. In a sense, this has to do with your, whether you have a new attitude, you do have a new perspective on something. You can look at your life in a completely different way. So it's like there is going to be a transformation kind of happening when I do look at this card in this particular deck. He's, holding on there like with one foot, and he looks, he doesn't look particularly comfortable there. The other way you can look at this too, it's like that bird, he's kind of actually landed in a place. When you sort of see his back down here, it's like, the bird is actually dropping him. So he's now being let go of, or kind of off the hook. It's like he's being released from something. So that is another way for some people you could be viewing that card, that you have been feeling a bit suspended, that you haven't been able to take any real action in regards to things in your life. You've had to get another perspective or get another overview of things that's been happening for you. But now it's like you've been let off the hook. You now landed on the ground. You've landed on the earth with a new perspective, new ideas, and new visions, even new attitudes. It could even be a whole new sense of your reality, that you've overcome many challenges as well, and many shifts or changes that you've actually worked through. And now you're in a new place where you perhaps can take some action now, because you're being released from that place of being very non-active or not really being able to do anything. And Mercury is now going direct, and he is slowly moving away from his conjunction with Pluto. So now I think you may find that you will have a sense of freedom to actually act and to make some real changes, or feel as if you have gone through a major shift. So it is a major arcana card, so it is kind of a big deal. But it is kind of like a new perspective. You're now being released from something. You will be able to get up and move forward again. So let's see what the energy of the past, and now this could have been an old energy that you've overcome, or it could be an energy simply of yesterday, because it is a past card. So we have the 9 of Cups here. These cards are wild, aren't they? They're fantastic. 9 of Cups. So 9 of Cups ideally is a 9 endings. So there is a sense of completing something. This one, I look at this card, and this is the wish card. You know, having a wish, wanting to be in a happier place, feeling better about life, feeling good about things. Okay, so, but when I look at this card in this deck, it's kind of like he is at a party, and he perhaps has his emotions may have, even though you have initiated changes, the Nine of Cups is about feeling good, feeling content, completing an emotional cycle. You can feel happy and content with yourself because you've overcome many challenges emotionally. But this card is this kind of indicates to me that it's been a rough journey. It hasn't, you've got to that place of the 9. You know, you have actually felt okay with things. Emotionally, you have come through things. But when I look at this card, it's like, you know, you kind of went to a party, you did have a great time, but emotionally it was a bit rough. So there was really good points to it, and there was not so good points. And even though you felt generally overall relatively good about yourself and the process, so emotionally, you know, it might have been a little bit challenging. But you did overcome and face many emotions and many obstacles that you did have to work through and push through to get to that point of completing something. So that kind of is the Nine of Cups, I always do see that as a very positive card, but in this deck it's kind of got that bit more of a rough edge to it. It's like you went to the party, you had a great time, but now, you know, you paid the price. Either by getting a really big hangover, but it was kind of worth it in the end, even though it was a bit rough and a bit challenging for you. So let's see what the card is. Now, this is important information that you may need to know in regards to this week. Okay, so then we have the 7, I can't quite, 7 of chalices. Okay, so 7 of cups. Okay, so now this is a beautiful card. 7 of cups ideally is the choice card. It's looking at all your options, looking at all your opportunities that are around you. He looks as though he's just ridden up to this magnificent castle, and it's like, well, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go now? I do have many choices. I have all these options in front of me. You know, which one of these pillars emotionally do I want to pick? And this is like the knight is riding up there, and so there is a sense of movement because he is on a horse, so there is a sense of movement. So you may find now that you do have the freedom to choose. And kind of choose wisely. You know, take your time, because he's pausing on that horse. He is standing there, and he is actually looking at all his options. So you may find now, after feeling and being let go of and suspended with the Hanged Man, you've worked through all of these emotional places within yourself. It was more like you perhaps had to push through them to bring up a new emotion in yourself. The 7 is saying now you have opportunities around you, and you can pick and choose what you want. But, you know, kind of take your time, because the horse is not really moving. He's sort of standing there, he's viewing at things. So see how you feel about what's around you now from that new place that you're in. So be aware of how you feel, of any new opportunities, possibilities, feelings that come your way, because you may have some choices to make in regards to perhaps what your next move is, whereabouts you want to go next. This card, the 7 of chalices in this deck, feels really lovely. The colours are really beautiful. The purples and the blues and the gold. This feels like it's a really new, quite a magical kind of place that you can kind of pick and choose what you actually want to do. But like always, it's about, you know, kind of listening to your feelings and choosing wisely. And also this looks quite clear, so always try and be a bit logical when you've got the 7 of chalices, because it is the card of kind of being a little bit dreamy. You may just be a little bit in la-la land, so you may have trouble looking at things realistically in regards to the choices you've got. So make the choices that will actually make you feel happy and content with yourself, okay? Because you've released and worked through many issues or emotions, and now you've got opportunities around you to pick and kind of choose. The 7 of chalices does feel like it is a new place for you. And the sevens can sometimes be, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable in regards to the issues or things you've got to look at. But there again, just take your time, pause, see how you're feeling in regards to what you want to do and where you actually want to go to next. And the 7 compared to the 9 here, this does feel and look a lot clearer. This is a bit messy, uncertain. It's a bit messy. There's a lot happening in this card. So we've kind of overcome this, but it has been a positive progression emotionally on the way, okay? And this is a lot clearer, and you may also feel a lot emotionally, you may feel emotionally stronger and feel emotionally more stable, okay? Which is kind of nice because this is a little bit rocky, this one here. So feel a little bit stronger emotionally. Know that you can feel stronger emotionally. So keep that in mind. You may have opportunities, you may have decisions to make, choices to look at. Pause, reflect, kind of choose wisely. Be kind of logical, not too emotional about it, but make the choices based on your heart and how you feel about things, okay? Because you've got new choices to make, new opportunities around you. And the Hangman, I do think when I look at this card, the Hangman is kind of, there is a sense of being released from that suspended feeling. Now you can move forward. The blockages have been removed, whereas before you may not have been able to act through whatever reason, maybe lack of information or just having to simply work through a process or a situation. But now I think it's that sense of, you can kind of release, you have been released, you can get up and now you can continue on, you can start to move forward again in a new place and in a new way. So we might leave that there, and I'll see you and talk to you. Well, I won't see you. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much for your likes and your comments, and please share and have a wonderful week and enjoy the 1st of February. Bye.